Many are stubborn in the pursuit of the path they've chosen. Few in the pursuit of their goal. Now, this is important to remember why Friedrich Nietzsche said this, obviously many years ago. He's not alive anymore. But this is important because this is very much true. And this is also to do with motivation too. And this is going to be the big subject of this video. Motivation, goals, and pathways. Now, when I say goals and pathways, take note that usually when someone finds something that motivates them so much that they want to change it themselves, or they want to build up something or be ambitious in a certain direction, they'll take that pathway that goes towards that goal. But if it takes a long time, sometimes they forget what the goal originally was and instead see the pathway to that goal as the goal itself, even if the pathway to the goal itself changes. And this forgetfulness is dangerous, especially dangerous if you want to avoid, say, a midlife crisis or an existential crisis, because you might spend many years on this pathway, and at some point you've gone past the goal, you've forgotten about the goal was no longer accessible to you. Next thing you know, you've suddenly had a realization, and that realization is all this hard work that you've done is now pointless. And this is where motivation comes in. Because motivation is something that you have to keep constant. It's also something that will help you remember that goal. And also, finding motivation. Yes, I know that's hard these days. It's important that you find something to motivate you. And we've talked about previously about managing yourself and being ambitious. But then in the end, you've got to ask yourself, what am I doing all these things for? And this is where motivation comes in. Motivation is the thing that when you wake up in the morning, instead of sitting there going, oh God, and then, especially if you're not on a work day, you decide to spend it not really doing anything. At the end of the day, if you actually look back at it, which most people don't, you're going to go, what the fuck did I do? Was any of this had any point? Usually no. I mean, it's nice to have a relaxing day here and there. Your body wears down. Your mind wears down. And Nietzsche also took note that when you're worn down and tired, often the old demons come back. The old fights, the old arguments that you thought you've laid to rest, they come back to attack you. And so finding motivation, finding daily motivation with an end goal, whether it's to find a girl or find a career that really just you really want. And often when you pick this goal, and this goal, it's not so much that you pick it, it picks you. It picks your particular personality, your emotion. But if it really is that you just picked it, then it's not going to provide that much motivation, is it? It's not something that you have an emotional connection to. It's something so strong that you could go past all those little weariness in your life. So when you find that goal, when that goal finds you, you're able to wake up in the morning and go, oh, and then go, remind yourself, that's right, I have something I have to do in this life. And so you get up, fully motivated. First thing you do, what is it? I like to, as soon as I wake up, not all the time though, but it's helpful. Wake up, roll over onto the floor, do 30 push-ups. It gets your blood motivated, gets your blood going. And often, to get to a goal, you have to go along a certain pathway, whether it is you've got to get a job in a particular field, or do a university degree, or just simply work on your appearance, work on your personality, manage yourself, as I said in the previous video. And it does have to be almost a life goal, something that would break you if that goal was cut off from you entirely. But often, with a lot of people, they'll go down that road, they'll go down that pathway, they'll do all these things that will get them close to this goal, but they've forgotten about the goal altogether. They become tunnel visioned. And so instead of each decision that they make going, does this get me close to the goal? Does this get me close to the goal? Instead they go, this is a pretty good pathway I've taken. I find it quite enjoyable. This is really, really good for me. And that might be good. But it's forgetfulness. And as I said before, it might lead to it's more than likely to lead to an existential crisis. And you want to avoid that. They're pretty bad. You'd rather go hungry for a week, quite frankly. Not saying that ignorantly. I have gone hungry for various points of time in pursuit of goals. It may seem annoying, but often enough you have to find something that repeatedly reminds you of the end goal, the life goal, the goal that will break you if you lose it. And it will get annoying, in a small way. At the same time, you'll be very, very grateful for it. And that's the thing with the pathway and forgetting the goal. It's because it gives your brain a sense of moving towards something, even though you're not even sure. You're moving towards goals. You're moving towards small goals in the pathway, but it's not the big life goal that you had set originally. And this is how we often forget. Because when you think of the life goal and think, oh my god, I'm still so far away, do not cringe. If you're closer than you were when you started, that's great. Sometimes it takes a lifetime. That does not matter. You can still be passionate about something 50 years from now when you're 70 years old. And many people are. Some of the greats are. And sometimes these goals are ones that you've already reached, but you need to keep reaching constantly. For example, if you want to become a famous novelist, and you bring out a novel that gets popular and famous and makes you a star, you've reached your goal, but now it's your responsibility to yourself to keep reaching that goal. By keep bringing out novel after novel, great idea after great idea. And this is why, look at the 19th century, they were full of people like this. Back then, the fame that came with being a famous novelist or a famous man of the arts, often enough it didn't come with a lot of money. So it was not the money that was the motivating factor for them. And it still shouldn't be for you. That's a great incentive to help you along. And it's a great reward for all the hard work, but it cannot be the motivating factor. It can be a small motivating factor, but not the motivating factor. The goal must be the motivating factor. For example, these days, I'm making a YouTube channel. It's not my end goal, but it helps me along the way. And for some people, it is the end goal. They'll make a YouTube clip, they'll make one over and over. They want to start a channel, they want to make a brand of their channel. That's a great goal. is a goal that you keep having to repeat. And that is not a bad thing. Do not despair of that. It helps you keep evolving it. And also sometimes the conditions for the goal will change. And you've got to remember to be able to figure out how to change the pathway to that goal, to change your own pathway. Because if that end goal changes the conditions and you do not evolve with that, you're going to lose it. This is all about mindset. And often enough it's hard to get your brain to think in a completely different way. Because you're so focused on this pathway and you're like, yep, for years maybe, that you're stuck on this pathway. This is the one pathway that's been showing you the way to this goal, and so you're keeping on that pathway and it is working for you. But next thing you know, all of a sudden it doesn't. The conditions for the goal have changed, and it's very hard because you spent years in this mindset. This mindset of this being success for it. This goes for the same with relationships too. If your goal was to get with this particular girl who you've been wanting for a while and it's starting to move along slowly, next thing you know you're with her and you're like, wow, that is not the end of it. This is something you constantly keep having to revise. Your goal must keep going. Not past it, but on it. As in, you keep having to keep that motivation there, otherwise you're going to stagnate. And you're the one holding everyone back. And you're holding yourself back too. And that's the thing with intrasexual competition, and a lot of people complain the insults and all that. They complain about how harsh the intrasexual men competing with men for the affections of women and how horrible that is. But it is making you a better person. It is making you a better you. That is great. Do not complain. And yes, I know I've brought up the intrasexual competition before, but it's something that I'm going to keep relating to everything because it does take a large part of your life, and I do think it's a great thing and important. But what is your motivating factor? What is the goal? Not just a small goal like, oh, I want to save up money so I can go on holiday somewhere. That is not a life goal. That is not going to change your life. That is not going to make you the archetype of what you think you are. So find it. Let it find you. Do not rest on your laurels though. Because you have to be active in letting it find you. And once it finds you, you have to be active and setting yourself in that path. And along that path, you have to be active and constantly rearranging yourself so that that path is still going towards that goal. Okay,